Welcome to Backyards and Bevvies. Grab your favorite bevy, pull up a chair, and enjoy the ride. Hey, B&B fam. This podcast is sponsored to you by BetterHelp, H-E-L-P. Is there something getting in the way of your happiness? I know when I traveled the world, I had many days where BetterHelp's worldwide service of licensed professional therapists could have helped me speak to someone no matter where I was in the world about whatever was happening in my life, and with zero judgment. With their ability to match me with a therapist that best fits me, I know my mental health would have been way better back then. Believe me, I needed it. But I'm here to share a way for you to take back control of your mental health by telling you about BetterHelp's awesome services they have for you to talk with a pro about your life through their app or just online. Whether it is a video session or some simple messaging, their team is here to help. I went to check out the app for myself just to see how easy it was to use, and after a series of questions, I was told I would be able to start matching with a therapist in under 48 hours. And what is super rad is that it's affordable and they even offer financial aid too. So come join the 2 million users that have already been helped and gain back control of your mental health by visiting betterhelp.com/backyards for 10% off your first month. Remember, BetterHelp is therapy done securely online. Don't forget to use the special code BACKYARDS and let BetterHelp, H-E-L-P, help you to start living a happier life today.
3 this time.
I decided to go for 3.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Backyards and Bevvies!
Yee!
I thought I'd start it a little different this
Very
time.
silly today.
I know. Well, this is going to be a fun episode, so I figured we'll just kind of test them. So we got a new, I'm going to go ahead and say they're kind of a mic sponsor. We got sent these 2 awesome microphones. We're testing.
I love the way they look.
Yours is a black.
It's a matte black.
Matte black.
Yeah.
Mine is like a silver.
Yours is like chrome looking almost.
Yeah, it's something awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They sound pretty good so far.
I really like how they sound.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know the technical terms, and I'll probably say the wrong thing, but they feel to my ears like a little bit like warmer.
A little more broadcasty.
Mm-hmm.
Like our voices are now welcome.
Mm.
Mm.
Mm. Hello.
I feel like this is what back in the day when like Orville Redenbacher was giving. Was it?
No, that's the popcorn guy.
Yeah, that is the popcorn guy. Orville.
Orson Welles.
Yeah, that guy.
Orville Redenbacher.
Yeah. I bet they were like, oh, that.
Are you talking about like when he was reading, what is it called, 1983 or something like that? His novel that was about like aliens coming to attack, and he was reading it out loud over the radio.
Yeah,
and people thought that was like really happening,
thing, yeah.
and they were like wigging, and it's like, I'm just reading my book.
Yeah, no, isn't that crazy though?
Yeah, that's
like,
Orson Welles.
And that was okay.
Orville Redenbacher when he was reading his book about popping popcorn.
I do like his popcorn. I go for extra butter.
Movie theater butter. It's the way to go.
Yeah, they had. Remember there for a minute they actually had the cool bags that opened on the top, and then you could add.
It was like in like a bucket.
No, it was like a bag, but there was like a plastic pull away. And
I don't know about that.
We've had them before.
Have we?
I'm probably drinking that night. Well, welcome to
Guaranteed.
Backyards and Bevvies, your one-stop shop for laughter and a little life lessons inside that laughter. Today, we went through such a 4-week just jam-packed, and then we just had we've had some other guests on since this episode, and so like we've just like jam-packed, like serious on top of serious on top of laughter on top of serious. So I thought today I heard a really funny conspiracy theory.
Here we go.
And I didn't even mean to start the show this way. I really was like, I thought it was Orville, but deep down I knew I was wrong, but I was like, just go with it.
Lucky for you.
Lucky for you. I have someone a little way more educated than I am.
Oh dear.
Maybe that's why I do love conspiracy theories so much, is because they play on my like gullible side a little, and my
I like it.
Well, there's just something.
You are. I feel like you also. I mean, I know you've said before that you love to talk, but you also love to debunk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
You don't like to argue for the sake of arguing, but you like to get to the bottom of things.
Well, if someone tells me something, I'm interested. I'm generally like, I think that's what makes this show for me so fun is because people tell me things that I didn't know about them. And I'm like, oh, we'll go deeper. Or, that's it. I never knew that. Or there's something about knowledge to me that I love. And so, like, even you correcting me right now, that'll probably stick for the rest of my life. I'll never forget.
I hope that I'm right.
Orson Welles.
Yeah.
Owen Wells.
Orson.
Owen Wilson.
Yeah, Owen Wilson. No. Now I have to look this up to make sure that I'm not just like talking out of my butt.
Well.
Well.
But today though, we're gonna go on a little bit of a fun trip down conspiracy lane, and I think it's so funny to me about conspiracies for one because some people just really go in and they really do believe them. And out of all the things that could be possibly there and like the knowledge and the proof and all the things, people still tend to believe conspiracy theories. You know, like Notre Dame ass, he would come up with this.
Is that what you really just called him? Nostradamus?
No, I just wanted to say his name. Kind of funny.
By the way, the book by Orson Welles is The War of the Worlds.
The War of the Worlds, yes.
Great movies also, by the way. The old one, classic, and the one with Tom Cruise, the updated one.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
So those weird long leg things.
Yeah, scary.
But today, yeah, like I was watching a TikTok video and I scrolled up because the first one was boring. And then it landed on this guy and he was like, you want to know a crazy conspiracy theory? Jetsons and Flintstones. And I was like, whoa.
Flintstones. No, FL, not FR.
Why am I so off today? I'm just bad.
Flintstones.
Flintstones.
Flint. Like Florida.
I even
Flintstones.
typed it into my phone with an L. But I just said it wrong.
Flintstones.
Gosh, that's one of my biggest fears on this show is to say, and I think I've already messed up a couple people's names because I'm just nervous saying their, like, how often do you say your friends' last names?
Very rarely.
Very rarely. So even though I might know them and have them spelled perfectly, I just mess them up. I just mess stuff up. Like, I'm dyslexic at times.
It's okay. Yeah. I got your back.
No, I know.
So Jetsons and Flintstones happened at the same time?
Yeah. So they went on to say, like, the producer of the show or the writer of the show, he wrote both of the shows at the same time. And you can look up on your phone when they were aired as we're doing this, but he went on to say that they were aired around the same time and they took place. This was the part that got me. So though they may have been airing, let's just say a few years apart or even seasons apart, in the writer or creator's mind, supposedly, they were taking place in a post-apocalyptic world. And they were living simultaneously together. So the Jetsons were living in outer space at the time, while the Flintstones were down on Earth rebuilding.
Interesting.
I'll go deeper.
So the Flintstones' first episode date was September 30th, 1960.
Okay.
And the Jetsons' first episode date was almost 2 years later, September 23rd, 1962.
Okay.
But so he wrote them at the same time, so one of them got picked up earlier than the other
let's just say that they were written or produced by the same person. Probably written, I think is how it went. And it was just so funny to me because like I'd never heard this. I've heard a lot of conspiracy theories before.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
And then all of a sudden, I was in, though. It hooked me. They did the right thing. The video had me hooked. I was like, okay, what else are they going to say? So he started in with the Flintstones. And he was like, okay, well, the Flintstones live after this post-apocalyptic world. Who knows what happened to wipe out people or dinosaurs. But clearly, there's a lot going on there.
Right.
The only thing the part that gets me is that there's dinosaurs. So not everything was wiped off. Or,
right.
You know, like...
But they also have, like, TVs and radios and things.
But that was the thing that he started saying. He's like, well, they clearly use money. They have TVs. They have radios. They have, you know, certain things that would...
Cars. I mean, they're powered by your feet, but it's still a vehicle.
A vehicle. They go bowling. They do all these things that civilization technically wouldn't do if you were just building the civilization. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think we can debunk this conspiracy theory because I just looked up Jetsons and Flintstones, and apparently a movie came out in 1987 where the Jetsons meet the Flintstones, and it says that the Jetsons travel back in time.
All right. Well, there we go. We just did it. But it was kind of cool to think about. So
it does make you think.
So this is why I think I like conspiracy theories, is because they just make you go,
Things that make you go,
And it did make me go, because I remember the movie. I've seen the movie, but never in my mind did I go, well, this is wrong. Like, I just thought, like, oh, well, whatever. Like, I'm going to listen to these two guys ramble on about this conspiracy theory because it was kind of funny. But they went on to say, I'm going to finish what they said because it really does make you think. So you never see the ground in the Jetsons. They're always above the clouds.
True. Well, they're in space.
And so they were saying, like, oh, the Jetsons were actually, like, the richest people on the planet at the time when this apocalypse happened. Maybe it was like The Walking Dead came.
Oh, maybe.
Let's add in another show.
Who knows? Yeah.
So The Walking Dead happened. All that's left are dinosaurs, people, and bowling and beer. And then the Jetsons, though, they were they
escaped because they were the rich.
Yeah, they were able to go to these pods. So maybe like Tesla built them back in the day.
Okay.
Like, so maybe Elon got some of his stuff from there.
Okay.
So then they're living up in the cloud world, the Jetson world, and they have these flying cars and all these things.
Right.
And so, yeah, but that was their thing. And I was like, man, that is just too funny.
That's interesting.
It got me. Like, it really did. It made me think about it. I obviously didn't go and, like, research it because I didn't want to think that much. But I thought it'd be a fun start to my conspiracy.
I like it. Conspiracy number 1, debunked. Did not happen at the same time.
Debunked. All right. So.
What's number 2?
Well, have you ever seen the movie Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson and Julia Roberts?
Mm-mm.
It's a really good movie, too.
Well, we'll have to watch it.
So have you ever heard of the conspiracy theory that there's, like, these people that live in the center of the world or the Earth?
I mean, I've seen, like, the movie Journey to the Center of the Earth where there's, like, prehistoric animals and, like, all that kind of stuff, but...
Yeah, no, there's, like, this whole...
Like, modern
Yeah, like, right now. Like, right now, there's people that are living under there.
But, like, there's, like, cities down there?
Yeah.
Like, they would have all the things that we have up here?
I don't know if they'd have all the things, but supposedly they're, a very sophisticated group of people that live in the center of the Earth.
I've never heard this.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You watch it.
I mean, could that be possible? There isn't oxygen.
Well, maybe they got tough skin and they wear, like, oxygen masks. I don't know. I mean, they're clearly smart enough to live under there.
It sounds like mole people. It doesn't sound like regular humans. That's a ridiculous theory. I can't even get into that. There are so many issues with that. Just like off the start, like no oxygen. Too hot, other gases that are toxic to humans that you wouldn't be able to survive. Like, what about, like, sulfur and all that stuff that's, like, buried underground? Methane, like, all that stuff.
I didn't write it. I'm just telling you what I viewed. And I didn't view much of it, you can tell, because...
What was the proof that this person offered that this could actually exist?
Oh, gosh, these YouTubes are way too long for me to go into proof.
Oh, my goodness.
Just the start of them always cracked me up, because then I'm like, man... Well, their whole thing is that there's, like, supposedly these, like, vortex entrances in places that are, like, probably mine holes. But you know what I mean? Someone sees an image on Google Maps and then they, like, start to write this giant...
Their imagination just runs wild.
100%. And I think that's the cool part about conspiracy theories is that it really does just excite your imagination.
Yeah.
And I think that I have a very wild imagination.
You do.
So to me... I can allow my brain to go there for a minute before the, like, logical side of my brain takes over and says, okay, well, that's just not possible.
Gotcha.
It's hot. There's hot magma. there's hot magma.
Okay, Dr. Evil.
below the surface.
Are you petting the cat?
I am.
Mr. Bigglesworth.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that one to me was always kind of hokey because you're like, man, that's just not possible. But then you see like a movie of like, Journey to the Center of the Earth, and you're like, what?
But there weren't people that lived down there in that one. It was just like giant like lizards, like Komodo dragons that were like the size of a house and like stuff like that. The original Journey to the Center of the Earth movie is awesome. It's so campy. Like watching it today, obviously. I mean, I think it came out in like, I don't know, the 60s or 70s or something, but it's one of the movies that I grew up watching, and it's a great movie.
Great little flick.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it in a minute. I don't know if it stands the test of time, but it was really fun to watch as a kid because they were using like, I mean, it looked like they zoomed in on like an iguana or something, like chasing these people, like trying to get to them to eat them.
Yeah,
in the center of the earth.
movie magic definitely pushed the limits back in the day because they had to like use objects that were
But back
CGI
then, I mean,
wasn't really a thing.
It was so believable because you wouldn't have ever seen anything otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, if you lived in whatever middle Texas nowhere in the 1950s or whenever, you know, like, and then you see this movie, or let's just say the 60s. Yeah. And yeah, they have like a Komodo dragon that you've never seen because
they're living like the Galapagos Islands.
When was the last time you opened, like a National Geographic? You don't have like Instagrams and Googles at the time. Yeah, like I would be freaked out then.
For sure. Well, the movie obviously was such a classic that they remade it. I think The Rock is in it, and they've made like 2 or 3 of them.
Doesn't mean a movie is a classic. They've made a lot of
It's a great movie.
They've remade a lot of junk.
It's a great movie. You leave it alone. You leave it alone.
They have remade.
All right, we're moving on.
Okay. All right, so we can leave that theory alone. Yeah, but one of my favorites.
Oh, here we go. I know exactly which one you're going to talk about.
Do you?
I do.
Flat Earth.
I knew it. I was about to be like, starts with flat, ends with Earth.
This one cracks me up to like no end. I think this one is the funniest because the photos that people create online, like the amount of info, like if someone really just put the info, like put that much time into something else, they would be, well, maybe they are millionaires from the views they get, because there's clearly
Isn't there some like really famous rapper who believes in flat Earth, or like a basketball player, or there's somebody,
there's a lot of people,
celebrity who was like in the news not too long ago because they were like touting this theory, like, y'all are crazy, flat Earth is real, like, but the science just completely demolishes
the photos,
that even being a thing. Oh yeah, but they don't believe that the photos are real. They're like staged in a government bunker, just like the conspiracy theory that we never landed on the moon.
That's
like
good
it's
one.
a set and like all that stuff. I mean, fine, whatever. But explain to our listeners the science behind why the Earth cannot be flat.
Well, I mean, there's a million things like gravity.
Gravity.
Well,
so
I
if
mean,
the Earth was flat, would there not be gravity?
Well, I guess there would be, but it would just, I think it would act differently, I think is what a lot of people say. Like, I'm not a scientist. I just know that common sense tells me no because of so many other things that like happen in the world, like the way the Earth tilts, the way we have seasons, the way that like the oceans get pulled from the moon. I mean, it just there's so many things like that it's hard for me to then let my brain go too far. But then when someone's like, there's a giant ice wall that surrounds the Earth, I'm like, ooh, right. Then I'm like picturing this giant ice wall that like as you sail out into the distance, you know. But here's here's one part why my brain can go there is when you're reading Narnia. Right? They go on this sailing trip. Yeah. And they sail out into the distance and they're gone.
To the horizon.
And they go to this different world. And so it's not far-fetched because I personally can put myself into a sailor's, shoes for a minute. Back in like the 1800s.
Yeah, and earlier. Like the 1500s.
Yeah, like whoever the first person was that decided that they were going to get into a little dinghy and paddle themselves out into the middle of the ocean and then just say they're going to keep going until they hit something.
Right.
But then, like, you have the stars and all these things that are, like, they roll around the world. And all of a sudden, when people started to have mass communications, I think then it would be even harder to believe it because you see things at different, like, people in Australia don't see the stars the same as we see the stars. Like, there's so many other giant things that are telling you you're wrong.
Yeah.
But it is fun to listen to.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I think there's an article about, like, an old Navy vessel that sailed down into Antarctica that, they discovered all, like, a whole new species of people. Maybe that's part of the underground people.
Okay. Like an indigenous tribe or something?
I'd have to look that one up because that one, they make you feel like you're like, oh my gosh, they found the ice wall.
I mean, there may be an ice wall, but it doesn't
well, there's giant ice walls.
Border the Earth.
Well, there's giant ice walls. So, I mean, like, as a sailor in the 1800s, you would get to a freaking sheet of ice that's what are they called? What sank the Titanic?
An iceberg?
Yeah, like a giant ice wall
like
iceberg.
Glaciers
Yeah, a
and
glacier.
stuff?
That's the one I was going for. Yeah, so you get to a glacier and it's, 700 feet, probably miles at that point. Not even, whatever. Who knows?
Because it goes like all the way under the ocean and above the ocean.
Well, it goes down and it goes up and then it goes long ways. And so, yeah, you're looking at this giant white wall and you're like, oof, we should just turn around. We've hit the end.
That's it. That's the end.
Well, yeah,
everything's frozen.
You go back to, let's just say they left out of the coast of, England, and they come back and they're like, hey,
we found the end of the Earth.
The world's flat, man.
Yeah.
There is nothing on the other side of that wall. They're like, you didn't.
Well, back then it would be believable because you had no way to know otherwise.
Yeah.
But now, this is just insane.
I don't know. I feel like the Egyptians, when they were talking to the aliens, they're like, hey.
That's another good one.
The Egyptians and the aliens?
No, aliens in general. And it's funny that you said that because that was going to be like the one thing that I brought up. But that's a conspiracy theory that's not a conspiracy theory anymore. Like, it came out in the past year with actual, like, classified footage and photos and documents getting declassified that they're, they may not be aliens, so to speak, with, like, the giant head and the weird eyes, and they're here to murder us all, but there is life other than humans that we don't know about and don't understand, but they're around.
Yeah.
The technology is way too advanced.
Yeah, but it was the Tic Tacs.
The Tic Tacs.
And all those things, yeah.
But how they can go, like,
underwater,
up and down and forwards and backwards, like, simultaneously, and they can shoot out from under the water and, like, all this stuff. I mean...
Maybe it's a cat.
A cat?
Yeah, maybe the cats are dry. I mean, our cats get the zoomies sometimes. And
you get the zoomies.
And I feel like...
Flying,
what you're talking
cat.
About can mimic a cat going from
0 to 1 million
to up in the air and then out of a room. And
our cats are wild.
Yeah, I think that though, but like, yeah, okay. So let's go back to this whole ridiculous conspiracy theory of the Earth is flat. I can just say that I can allow my brain to see it. So out of all the conspiracies, I get it. I get where you could be like, nah. I don't believe it. And someone put it to me this way one time is that, well, it looks like you're living. Each person has a perspective of a snow globe.
Uh-huh.
Because you can't see around, like, below you. You can't see the other side of the world. So the first people truly probably thought they lived in something that mimicked what we would look at as like a snow globe.
Okay.
Because you look up and the world is around you. Everything revolves around wherever you are in that one moment in time. So, yeah, like you kind of like think about it in that sense. You're like, okay, well, yeah, the Earth is flat because you can't tell the curvature of at our height. But as you go higher, right, you can see the curvature of the Earth and you can do all these things. So, yeah, like in the 1800s, before you could take a rocket into space and see that the Earth was round. Yeah, I mean, I believe it that way.
I wish we could just send, like, whoever the biggest proponent is of flat Earth up in a space shuttle to see that the Earth is actually round from space and bring them back down so they can be like, okay, I was wrong. It's definitely round. Let's move on to something else. Like, that's how you debunk that idea. Send the main flat Earth guru up into space and let him see it for himself.
or I feel like you could just watch like a Apple screensaver.
Not gonna believe it. Not gonna believe it unless they see it with their own eyes.
Get into. I mean, even at like 40,000 feet, you can still see. Like you could start to see.
I feel like you have to see the whole Earth for them to really be able to accept the truth.
Okay, fair enough. Would you go to space?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think going to space would be cool. I don't want to live in space.
Nah.
I have no desire to live in space, but I think being able to go to space would be really cool.
Would you do just the up and then hit like 80, 90,000 feet and then come back down? No, I want to be like in space. You want to go to like the space station?
Yeah, like send me out there so I can like look down on the little globe.
Yeah. Would you go to the moon?
That'd be cool. I'd go to the moon. Yeah. I want to go jump around on there. I had moon shoes when I was a kid. It was the coolest thing ever.
I think that's a conspiracy. I've never heard of moon shoes.
What? Yes, you have. You never had. Like? They were. It was ridiculous. I mean, it was basically like springy shoes, but like they would strap to your feet, but there was like a spring, a couple of springs in between the bottom of the shoe and the top. So it looked like it was like open almost. So like it was like having pogo sticks on both feet.
How high could you go?
Pretty high. Like, it made you feel like you were weightless.
Like 10 feet high?
No, not. It's for children.
Okay, well, that's not really high. That high. So like a foot? I'm just trying.
I have no idea. I was like 7.
I'm debunking your conspiracy.
No, it's
right
not
now.
It's not a conspiracy theory. I'm just saying it was supposed to make you feel like it would feel if you were like weightless on the moon.
Now, do you think Skechers got their idea from these moon shoes supposedly that you have? Because don't they have like something for your butt, like the Skechers step ups, and they kind of mimic exactly what you're saying. They kind of
I have no idea.
Have a little curvature and they bounce and they help you.
I don't know.
I saw a commercial one time.
Okay, yeah, I got nothing. That sounds silly.
So do your moon shoes.
I'm gonna pull them up and show them to you. They were awesome. I wish I still had them.
Okay, I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna post up your moon shoes.
People are gonna know moon shoes in the 1990s.
I hope that someone has a photo of them.
Oh my gosh, you can get them on Amazon.
I hope someone has a photo.
I want some. Look, they look like this.
You would break your.
They were so fun.
It looks like 2 Home Depot buckets strapped to the bottom of that kid's foot.
They were like mini trampolines for your feet.
Surprised you have ankles.
They were so fun. Oh, I found an ad from 1993. We'll have to post
He probably has a hypercolor shirt on too.
It's got a lot of stripy colors on it for sure. Moon shoes were cool.
All right, so flat Earth. That one, I clearly don't believe it, but I get how people can put themselves in the position to kind of somehow believe it.
No, I disagree. I can't.
I mean, no, I don't know. There's something about it that is, yes, I could be like, all right, the freaking ice wall, you got me. But
like, why tell people the Earth is round if it is flat? Like, what is the purpose? Like, behind a conspiracy theory, there has to be a purpose to why you are told something that is supposedly not true.
I don't know why they would.
So what would the purpose be of using all of this technology to make all of these images and videos and things where you can see that the Earth is round?
Yeah.
Why waste all that money to do that if there's not some major reason that people can't know that the Earth is flat?
Well, the Jetsons live on the other side.
Oh, there you go. That's the answer.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's a good part to it. I don't know what would... I mean, the moon part I could see because they just want you to believe that we have the technology to go to the moon. Yeah, I could see that one.
But, like, why? What would the benefit be to hiding from the human race that the Earth is flat instead of round?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they want you to... I don't know. That's a good question. I'm going to have to think on that. I'm going to think on that. I'm going to try to debunk what you just said. All right, so there we go. We've gone through 3, but I think the alien one is definitely the biggest.
Yeah, but it's not a conspiracy theory anymore.
Well, but there's a lot of conspiracy theories around aliens. So, like, Area 51, for instance, is like, there's all these conspiracies about Area 51.
But haven't they come out and said that, like, yes, something was found by the military, and, like, up until now, they just didn't think that people could handle the information?
Yeah, but I want to see a picture.
No. That's
Like,
not
I want-
declassified yet.
Well, then I don't.
Go watch Independence Day.
If there's an alien that looks like that, we're all in trouble.
That would be terrifying. I'm hoping they're like little green moon men, like the tiny little guys, maybe like the size of, I don't know, like a Freddy cat
The one that
size.
used to, was it on the Jetsons?
I think so, yeah. Little moon man.
What?
Cartoon was it? I think maybe it was the Jetsons.
The Flintstones. You
No.
can come and talk to Fred, right?
What? I don't know. I never really watched the Flintstones.
We have it now. We should.
We
I
do.
fire him up every once in a while, but I haven't gotten to the little green guy.
Yeah, I don't know. But something like that. Or like Marvin the Martian.
He was a great one. He was
That
nice.
was my brother's favorite.
Well, I guess he really wasn't nice. He would vaporize you a lot if he didn't like you.
Only if you were his enemy.
Yeah. You know, that's a good point, though. Is like people that you might not like or people that are jerks, potentially they do have one friend. So Marvin the Martian might have had a friend.
Could have.
It wasn't Bugs Bunny.
No, definitely not.
That instead of all
But like
the-
an alien that looks like that, not so terrifying. An alien that looks like the alien from Independence Day or the movie Alien, like.
Yeah, there's been a lot of creepy aliens in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Tic Tac thing is pretty interesting because that one, you have people that are. I mean, I would just go on the limb that they get to see a lot of stuff that is of high value to the U.S. government, right?
To all governments.
Well, yeah, to all governments. So if they're gonna leak one thing, I mean, why that one? You know, like that seems to me like I just saw something so crazy that I just can't explain it. So I have to say,
What if that's the most tame of them all that could be leaked?
oh, I mean, that definitely is. I mean, there's probably stuff that there's conspiracies right there. There's like all the things that are part of like the governments of this world. I mean, there's so many conspiracies behind like bunkers and secret roads and
Right.
And I know that there's like roads underneath cities because you can go to lots of major
Subways
cities
and tunnels and things, yeah.
and well, it's not even that. Like, I mean, if you even in Houston, there's a whole underground like network that you can go building to building, and there's restaurants down there. And,
Whoa, that's crazy.
yeah, but that's not a crazy thing to have a conspiracy theory about. Like, oh, there's these secret tunnels underneath. I'm sure that the White House has a tunnel from there to somewhere else. You know.
What really interests me about the Tic Tac that came out of the water is, I mean, like, we've done more exploration in space than we have done underwater on our own planet.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So the fact, like, when that video came out and you can see the thing like shoot up out of the water, that blew my mind because it's like, okay, what else is down there that we don't know about? Because we don't have the technology to be able to explore because of the massive amounts of pressure. So like the Marianas Trench, which is like the deepest part of the ocean.
I like that band too.
We can't get down there.
Yeah.
So like, is that where they're living? Are there like whole alien cities down there?
But that's where no, I think that's
Crazy.
part of those like people that live down there.
I don't know about that. But not people. We're not talking about people. We're talking about
But I think they're aliens.
extraterrestrial beings that are not humans, who do not have to have the same things that humans have to survive. They can withstand the massive amounts of pressure underwater. They don't have to have oxygen to breathe. Like, that's the real mind-blowing stuff.
What
to
if
me.
what if there's like their own style of like In-N-Out and Whataburgers?
I mean, they could have their own Taco Bell. It could be
Oh
like
my
all
gosh.
fish tacos. Who knows?
Why a fish?
Because they're underwater.
True.
Why fish? Because they're in the ocean.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, maybe they eat like the seaweed. Maybe they're vegetarians.
That very well could be.
We just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Crazy stuff.
I just thought about some of these like because then the minute you're like, well, we haven't even explored the ocean. It's like, oh my gosh, we haven't.
Yeah, that's why watching
Then you
like
think about,
Blue
like-
Planet 1 and 2 is so, like, I could watch Blue Planet 2 over and over and over and over again. They go like into the deep.
Yeah.
It is just crazy what is down there.
What about the Bermuda Triangle?
Is that really still a thing?
I mean, yeah.
Isn't it didn't they prove that it's like just the currents and stuff? Like it's like where like multiple currents of the ocean like meet and it creates this like whirlpool effect or something like that?
But that's what I'm saying. But why do planes go down though?
Oh, planes go down?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's a wormhole.
I used to go to when I lived in Orlando, there was no, was it Orlando or was it San Antonio? I think it was San Antonio. Maybe it was called the Bermuda Triangle. It was a lesbian bar.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a very interesting name for a bar.
I used to go
like,
there.
Come in here and disappear.
I used to go there with a couple of friends, and it was awesome. They loved me.
Well, everybody loves you.
I mean, like, I'm just saying in general, like, I was very welcomed by the lesbian community.
Well, because they knew you weren't going to hit on any of them.
Yeah, well, yeah, that was the thing. I was going in there and
you were just going to have fun.
Oh, and I had so much fun in there. It was one of those bars where it was just fun.
I love it. Have you been? I know we've been to a drag brunch before, but have you ever been to a gay bar?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I bet you were a local celebrity.
I was.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Yeah, like, but it just bringing up the Bermuda Triangle, I haven't thought about that name in forever, and every time I hear it, it takes me back to that bar for some reason. It doesn't take me to like the spot in Florida, but yeah, the Bermuda Triangle, that was like a giant thing. I mean, I don't know how many.
That's not in Florida.
It's like off the coast of Florida.
In Bermuda.
Oh yeah, maybe it is. Well, it's off the coast of Florida. Sorry. But I think it stretches out. Like, for some reason, I was thinking that Bermuda was like great.
I mean, I don't know. Let me look up on the map. I don't think Bermuda is too far away.
No, it's pretty far.
But
I think I totally.
But it's not Florida.
I think I totally messed that up. For some reason, I was picturing it between like Nassau and Florida.
You're like,
and
yeah,
the
it's like
Keys.
right by Key West.
I was like, you could literally walk there.
See. Bermuda. Okay, first of all, it's a British overseas territory.
Yeah,
Bermuda.
I knew it wasn't.
It's a famed area for mysterious disappearances.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's
see.
I'm trying to. Let's see. Let's get directions.
Off Google Maps?
Yeah, we're going to get directions from Florida.
Have you ever seen the movie Euro Trip?
Long time ago.
There's a part in there where he's like, dude, Europe is like the size of the East Side Mall. You could walk there tomorrow. And like, he's describing.
Can't find a way there from Florida to Bermuda Triangle.
Well, yeah, because you can't walk in the ocean.
I know, but I'm just trying to see how far away they are from each other. Let's see. How about to Bermuda? Can't find a way there.
You know how to do this? I just had to do this today. Go to Google. Don't try to do directions and just type in what is the distance between Florida and Bermuda
Triangle? Okay, let's see here.
Or just Bermuda. And then it'll give you a more accurate representation of what we're dealing with here.
I mean, yeah, it's 1,051 miles, so it's not just off the coast of Florida.
But it is in. Well, see, this is the problem. This is why the flat earthers believe that they're this flat, is because we look at everything on a map in such a flat sense that it makes you be like, oh, it's just right there. But in actuality, it's like
far.
Up and over. It's like in the middle of the Atlantic.
Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah, but in your mind, when you're looking at it on a map, you're like, oh, it's just right there. I think that's why conspiracy.
Only like 2 inches away.
But that's what I mean about conspiracy theories is that if you allow your imagination to do that kind of stuff, then conspiracy theories can like make sense. Like if you allow yourself to be like, well, yeah, because I've only seen a map in school ever like this, laid out flat on a wall. Well, yeah, like looking at it, you're like, it doesn't make sense for a plane to go up and over. Mm-hmm. But then when you put it into like mathematical, like how the world is, then it's like, oh, that's why when you take a flight from New York to Dubai, you don't go straight down and over. You have to go kind of up and over, and it's because that's the shorter distance. Because if you went a straight line, then you would actually be going a way longer route because of the curvature of the Earth. So that's one of the arguments that like round earthers,
like real earthers.
I've been a real earther.
I'm a real earther.
I've been a real earther since '82. Your flat Earth could go eat it. But that's one of the biggest things that I think a lot of people try to show people that believe in the flat Earth is like, well, yeah, but look at how planes fly across the globe.
Yeah.
They don't fly in straight lines.
Right.
Because it would take way more hours.
Interesting.
Are you a flat earther now? You're over there like not believing me.
No, I'm just over here thinking like you're like, well, if you let your imagination go wild, it's like, yeah, that's your imagination. That's like having an opinion. That's not fact. Like I can let my imagination run wild, and I mean, there can be rainbow-colored dinosaurs living in my pants. Like,
whoa,
that's where my imagination went. But that's not a fact.
I've been there. There's nothing there.
Oh no. That's it. End of episode.
Mic drop?
Mic drop. I cannot go from anywhere from there.
Yeah, you can. We have at least 5 more minutes in us.
I don't know.
I told you this was going to be a fun episode.
Oh my goodness. That was ridiculous.
I told you this was going to be a fun episode because I think conspiracy theories are fun, not because I think
well, that's why they're theories.
Yeah, of course.
They're not proven fact. Oh my goodness gracious. I have to forewarn my mother before she listens to this episode.
She knows we've had a baby before.
That's true.
I'm going on 40. There's a lot of things in life I've done. Like let your imagination run on that one.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Isn't that funny
going
to think?
on 40.
Yeah.
Soon.
Not
that soon.
We still have a few months.
Yeah.
Still have a lot to go.
Yeah.
But no, this was a fun episode, and I generally do enjoy tapping these kind of like little things every once in a while because I've talked to people that believe this stuff, and like I don't want to hurt. Like I'm not here to hurt anyone's feelings, but
we're not saying that they're unintelligent or anything like that by any means. It's just
no, but what we're saying is that conspiracy theories are real and people do believe them, but if you spend a little time, if
you do the research,
you can debug them pretty quick, like we did. Like the Flintstones one went real quick. Like that was like a 5-minute theory that was gone. And I could have done that day, but I held on to it because I did want to sit here on the show and have fun with it.
Right.
And so to conspiracy theory people, I don't know what makes people go down that route of believing them. Maybe they just like to think that things could be that way. I don't know. I mean, there's a million reasons why I'm not that person, but
there's just like a lack of trust in government and
who knows what it is
and stuff like that in general.
I mean, all day long you go to the internet, there's so many wild theories on why things happen, or
that Tupac is still alive, like living somewhere else in the world. It's another conspiracy
I believe
theory.
That.
Yeah,
No.
You believe that?
No. I mean, you hope too. Maybe it's a little bit of like hope, like on something weird, because to know that the Earth is round, it's like, all right, I believe it. But then when someone like tells you something wild, you're like, whoa, what if that is true? What if I really could go to an ice wall? Then you let your mind wander. So maybe it's a little bit of like fantasy is like just in a weird way. So I don't know why they're there, but they are interesting, and I like to have fun with them. And I will always, anytime someone has a conspiracy theory, send it my way because I will at least
take a look at it,
have fun, and enjoy whatever it is for a moment before my mind says no.
Yeah. Before my mind's like, meh, that was fun, but no.
Yes, we'll leave it at this. The biggest conspiracy out there is definitely the aliens.
But it's not a conspiracy.
I haven't seen one.
We don't know what they are, but we know that there is life outside of us.
How big do you think one is?
I'm hoping that I already said that they're like Marvin the Martian, like little guys.
Yeah, but what if we see him on a cartoon as like 4 feet or 3 feet tall? But what if Bugs Bunny was actually...
I mean, if they're gigantic, it would definitely make them more intimidating.
Yeah. What about Wall-E?
He's so cute. He's just a robot. He's not an alien. He's a man-made robot.
Yeah, but what about, like, that's a pretty... I mean, like, they went the distance with that movie, and they created a pretty wild...
That's not far-fetched, though. I mean, like, you hear... like when we were listening to the Elon Musk Joe Rogan podcast not too long ago, and they were talking about AI and the ramifications of AI and stuff like that. Like, we're not far away from those things happening and them taking on their own personalities.
Yeah. Boston Dynamics is doing all of those like crazy things.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah. So that's okay. So that's more a truth.
Yeah.
Like that's like we're seeing the effects of. Yeah. We live in AI.
That's coming.
Like your phone. Like I've heard Elon say a lot. Like your phone is.
It's an extension of you.
It's an extension of you now. Like your computer, because
we are cyborgs. He said.
Rely on it so immensely that we tend to. If we left it at home, many would be lost.
Yeah.
Or like when your phone breaks, like it's like
the anxiety is crazy.
Breaks your soul because that's crazy.
Yeah.
It is weird. It's wild.
It is. I agree.
I like how we're both like,
yes, okay.
Well, any other conspiracy theories you can think of?
I think we hit on the good ones.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, this was a good episode.
Yeah, it was fun.
I had a little fun with it.
Yeah.
I will say this. I will try to find some YouTube clips of each one of these, and I'll try to link them up
them in the description.
Especially since we didn't spend too much time on the world on the inner Earth people.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I've never spent a lot of time on it. I've only like accidentally stumbled upon them and heard things, and so I've never so I'm gonna do a little bit of research. I'm gonna find a really good video.
Okay.
Not clickbait. I'm gonna find a good one.
Okay.
That really dives into these people living underneath us.
Okay. We'll see. Is that them destroying our yard then, and not the groundhogs?
No, those are groundhogs.
Okay, just making sure.
Jerk groundhogs.
So rude.
There's a fat one that lives right over.
So fat.
Right over.
Dude eats well.
He does.
I don't know what he eats, but he eats a lot of it.
Yeah. I'm kind of. I know we're kind of coming to the end here, but I'm gonna say I kind of missed our original set because we're back on the original.
I like it back up here.
Do you? You don't like the fire pit?
The fire pit's cool, but I don't know. I like being up here.
What is it about it?
I like the level platform.
Okay.
I feel like I can look into your eyes better than down there.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do a poll. If you're listening to, if you made it this far in the podcast, for one, thank you.
You're a saint.
Yeah, because conspiracy theories.
This episode was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous. It was funny though. I'll give us that much. It was pretty funny. But if you made it this far, leave us a comment on.
And we can always go here,
YouTube.
there, or we can go wherever.
Well, maybe people like this perspective that watch it on YouTube.
Maybe let us know.
All right. Well, we'd like to thank our sponsors, BetterHelp. Level Up Roofing.
Yeah.
Well, BetterHelp, they're awesome. They help people all the time with
amazing
mental health issues. If you just need someone to talk to.
Yeah.
And then Level Up Roofing and Construction over in Houston.
Great company.
Great. If you need remodeling or a roof, call them. I think I don't know how far out they're going from Houston, but I know that
Can't hurt to ask.
Yeah, it's something worth a call.
Yeah.
And then our newest one is Peterson Barbecue.
Yeah, based in Florida.
Yeah, and they're doing catering right now. So if you have a party,
we have had their barbecue. It is delicious.
If you're down in, we've had his barbecue since he started the idea.
Right, which is way back before he even had the company.
Yeah,
he would just cook for us.
Yeah, and it was awesome. And he would always say I think one day I want to do this, and we're like, you have the talent, so you should.
Yeah.
But now he's actually operating a catering. I think. There's not a storefront, so you can't go find it. But, look Peterson Barbecue up if you're in Orlando, Florida area, or maybe Central Florida. Not sure how far he goes either, but
you never know.
Worth a shot. Well, here's to our alien Earth dwelling, water, Bermuda Triangle living.
Crazy episode.
Ice-walled.
Very silly.
Ice-walled climbing. And Jetsons French
so dumb
episode.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thank you so much for listening to this silly episode. as we always say, bottoms up.
Bottoms up. See you
Cheers.
next time.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. Yummy.